Salutations, everyone. This is Faith is a Substance coming at you. Welcome to my channel. I just thought I'd do more of a full-length video as an introductory to my content. So I'm going to be talking about a variety of things on this channel, like I was mentioning before, whether it be certain topics that you want to discuss, and I'm also going to be pretty messy too, because like I said before, my mouth is pretty sharp, like they tell me. So I'm going to have some opinions that may rub you the wrong way, but for the most part, my intentions are pure. It's not something that I intend on offending anyone, but I know I will. But I just want to thank you so much for all the feedback that I've been receiving from the shorts that I've been putting out so far. I've been getting a lot of encouraging words and on my Facebook and Instagram, and I appreciate all the likes and all the views, but I still haven't gotten any subscribers yet, excuse me. So I really need that so I can do more live videos, so I can engage more. And in order for me to engage with you guys, I have to have an audience. I have to have subscribers. I have to have people coming into my channel. So make sure that the notifications are turned on as well, so you'll know when I'm coming on. I'm sure I'm going to be scheduling some lives as well, so that way that gives you guys an opportunity to come into the room. I mentioned before in my first post on Facebook that I've been contemplating on doing this for a couple of years now. I wasn't sure about it because, like I said, I'm very, contrary to what you might think, I'm a very shy person. This is something that I don't normally do, getting in front of the camera. I know a lot of people, a lot of content creators, they are able to do YouTube, which is the avatar, without the camera on. And there will be times I will be doing that for different reasons. I'm going to be off camera, but for the most part, I want to be engaging. I want to be more personable. So I'm just want to get into the groove. I want to shout out So Debonair. Please subscribe to his channel. That's SODENAIR, So Debonair. He's a content creator. He's the YouTube mentor that I was mentioning before. So I look forward to him with us working together to build my channel up, and I really appreciate him for offering me the opportunity to work with him on this. So I really am grateful for that, because as I said before, this whole media, YouTube thing, new videos, content, all of this is very new to me. Even though I'm a subscriber to a few channels and I'm a viewer, it is totally different when you're a content creator. Totally different ball game. So I'm looking forward to just building that up and building up my confidence to do this, because right now I'm very anxious. Right now I'm pretty nervous. Right now, again, I'm very self-conscious about my voice and my lazy eye, by the way. So don't come at me in the comments trying to drag me, because I'm roasting myself. Yes, I do have a lazy eye, and so sometimes it's going to wander. I might look one way, and and you think I'm looking another. So let's just put that out there and get that out the way, so that way you won't have to be roasting me about it, because I'm already there. Okay, so there's things that I still have to work on as far as confidence goes, and I'm still working on the angles of this camera. As you can see, I just got this camera that I'm testing out right now, and it's going pretty well. I'm still adjusting my settings as we speak, and hopefully as I continue, I will be able to adjust my camera better. Hopefully my mic is okay. I hope I'm not too loud. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me well, that I'm clear. So like I said, all of this is going to build. I'm going to continue to grow. I'm continue to upgrade on this. But anywho, I want to know how everyone is doing. I want your feedback on this video. Please leave comments in the comment section. I need your suggestions on what you want to discuss. I want to really gear more towards topics that, I'm not a political person, so there's going to be some avenues that I am going to discuss because I do think it's important. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be certain matters I'm going to discuss, some current events or certain things I might see on social media that might be viral, or certain discussions that that I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to let you know right now, I am not the most intellectual person out there. I'm not a Rhodes Scholar. I am not one, to I'm not always the brightest bulb in the lamp, but I feel like if I want to add input on something, whether it's relationships, even though I haven't been one in many years, but I can still talk about it. I've been in a couple, so I can still discuss some things, and I could discuss some things that I've learned about dating or learned about relationships as, I go through my journey, a journey of life. Because just because you're not in a certain situation doesn't mean you're not privy to what's going on. So you can still add your input. So this whole thing about you being single and not knowing certain things, I'm just want to just add input. There are a lot of different perspectives. So like I said before, my spiritual journey, I've been working on, on that. I've been, in church all my life. I went from Kojic to 7-day Christian. That's where I observe the Sabbath, where I attend church on Saturdays. And so I've done that, and I've been in a non-denominational realm. Now I'm attending a Christian church. So I do see myself as a spiritual person, because I don't want to be tied to organized religion, because I know how divisive it is. But at the same time, I do take my relationship with God very seriously, and trust and believe God is still working on me. I'm going to be reckless with the mouth sometimes, or there's going to be some times where the discussion is going to get heated, or there'll be times where I'm going to be saying certain things that you may feel like doesn't conform to my walk with God, but that's between me and God. Okay, so I do take my relationship with God very seriously, and I often I'm going to talk about my struggles with my journey. I'm going to talk about how, like I said, for years I've been in church for years, trying to incorporate, Bible-based living, but at the same time just relating to what the world has to offer as well. So just kind of getting more in tune with that. Also, just trying to figure things out. My journey being here in Atlanta. I'm originally from New York. I've been born and raised there, and I moved to Georgia 7 years ago, and something I've always wanted to do. For some reason, I don't know why, because Georgia was I had Georgia on my mind for some time now, and I never even visited, until it was time for me to make that move. So, but for some reason, I've always wanted to make that move, because I wanted to have detachment from New York, because I thought it was time to make that journey, and I did it all, by myself. I had no one, it's not like I have anyone that's close to me that's here. Even though I might have associates that, that live here, because I think we all know somebody in Georgia. But, I made the journey alone, and I made sure I had the job lined up first. And I decided to move here. And so a lot of people ask me, how is it, how is it in Atlanta? Do you like it? And I'm going to be discussing more of that as well, because I don't want to make it seem like I am hating on Georgia, but it's honestly not all what it's cracked up to be. Making it work, I'm making it do what it do, because there are some benefits, there are some positive sides, because I'm able to find a great church home that I'm a part of. The job that I'm in is rewarding, because I work as an eligibility specialist. I don't want to get too much into where I work. I'm not going to do all that, because there's certain things I'm not going to share on this channel, because people out here are crazy. There's some people that's going to, or some content creators in your algorithm that they dox for a living. Seems like, you know, they go on they on these YouTube streets in certain sectors, and they feel like doxing is the way to go. I don't know why they need to stop it. So, but I nonetheless, I work for the state of Georgia, and my agency provides child care assistance for low income families. So that's what I do. And so that's very rewarding. You know, my background is in social services, so I've always been in that realm. I worked prior to my moving here, I worked for the homeless population, the Department of Homeless Services. I worked with Child Protective Services. So I've always been in the lane of social services. So even though it's rewarding, I honestly have been fulfilled in some time. So I'm still trying to figure it out as I go, because I know that I have to make means. You know, I have to. This is a means to an end, basically, because unfortunately the economy here is not conducive to, you know, a lifestyle that we'd be comfortable, unless you're in the entertainment or beauty industry. Anything else in between here in Georgia or here in Atlanta, it's not so great. So I'm going to be very honest with you. Transparency is important to me, and this is my experience. I'm speaking from my personal experience, but I'm making it work. I'm praying about it. I'm not going to lie to you. It's been times where I've been depressed about it, because I've had bouts of depression. I'm going to discuss that as well, because again, transparency, right? Anxiety is something that I deal with at times. Social awkwardness, you know, so a lot of times I know throughout my life people make fun of the way I speak sometimes, or the way I express myself, or sometimes I don't have the ability to always articulate certain thoughts, so it might come out a certain way. So I deal with those things. So so I'm just trying to just give you an overview. I know I'm over the place right now, but I'm just kind of giving you an overview of bits and pieces of my perspective on things, and how this channel is going to go, and how do I expect for it to go, because I want it to be a well-rounded platform. It's not going to be in the box. You know, I'm not going to have this platform in the box where I'm going to talk about, or it's going to be a particular content. No, it's going to be a wide range of things that I'm going to discuss, a wide range of things that I'm going to address, a wide range of things. And I look forward to even interviewing with some people, having conversations with people, starting with my family, close friends. I'm looking forward to that happening as well. And I'm looking forward to learning how to edit these videos. So like I said, bear with me on this. This is just raw and uncut right now. I'm just giving you my true, authentic self at this point, because again, I just want you to get a more of understanding of who Faith as a Substance is. Get an understanding of what I'm going to put out there in YouTube land, on social media. I just want to give you a better understanding of, you know, where I am on this, you know, where I am on certain aspects, where I am on certain topics of discussion. So I just want to kind of introduce myself and kind of give you a little bit of like how I came to the space, to where I decided to do this. Because like I said before, my mom, shout out to my mother, you'll see her on this platform quite a bit. We talk all the time, and I don't take for granted the time that I have with her, because a lot of people lose their parents. Unfortunately, I lost my dad a few years ago. May he rest in peace. And we had a good relationship. My mom's relationship is, is great. Where I always say that we have an understanding with each other. We're not the Judds, we're not like, where we like, how should I say, we're not in a relationship where we're like, mushy type, we are very much, we understand each other. She understands me, because she knows I could be very moody. She knows that I have a way with me that she doesn't, pay me any mind when I get into that space. But she's very encouraging. I appreciate her. I mean, I don't know what I've done, what to do without her, especially throughout my adult life. She has been an anchor for me, and I appreciate my mom so much. And she's been pouring into me. She's always had such confidence in me about my capabilities, but I'm the one that gets in my own way. I always had self-doubt. I've always been the one to, you know, kind of allow fear and intimidation to stump my growth. And so that's why I feel like I wasted so much time, waste so much time flip-flopping and having ambition, but not really having much follow through. So my mom has been a champion for me. She's always saw something in me that I still don't see in myself. So I appreciate her. I mean, she's my rock. And I look forward to, just getting to know her and seeing her more on this platform. I'm hoping that my son might come and have a conversation with me, because there are some things that we need to maybe address, or I'm hoping that we'll be able to get into a space with each other. We're able to engage more on this platform, because I'm going to be honest with you that my son and I, don't have a close relationship right now, and because of my decisions that I've made some years back, where it affected him in a way that it took some time for us to kind of get into rebuilding our relationship. And it's not that he hates me, because we speak every now and again, but he's in his own lane. He's an adult, he's 26 years old, so he's always been in his own lane, always been to himself. But we still have our separate issues or separate things that we are working through. And there were some things that some decisions that I made. There are many decisions that I made in haste, or an impulse, or because I wanted to go a different direction, and unfortunately I didn't see past what I wanted, or what God had designed for me. So I sometimes made certain decisions that affected not only myself, but it affected my relationship with him as well. And so I'm still continuing to work on that, pray on that, because I know, and I'm going to just put it out there, I love my son, and I know he loves me. And part of being an adult and being a parent, a lot of times it's hard for us to accept accountability of how we raise our children, even though we want the best for them and we want to make sure that they're happy in life. But there were certain times where I know that a part of me failed as a parent, in a certain, especially in a certain area in our relationship, where I know that I wasn't the parent that he deserved. And let me just put that out there. I'm not saying I never abused my son. I love him. I've always been attentive, always been present in his life. I've always made sure he had everything he needed. So it's not that. So let me just put that out there, okay? But I just want to be a little bit more candid about the fact that I, as a mother, can honestly put out there that I know, just reflecting in retrospect, that I was not the parent that he needed, at times, and eventually it started to our relationship started to be affected as he gotten older. So I'm still working on that. I'm still working on forgiving myself. We had several conversations about our relationship, about how things ended up and what caused it. So we're still working on that. We're in a good space right now, because I did see him in this past February when I came to visit my mom, and for her birthday, and I did have some time with him. And again, we love each other. He loves me, but I know that he doesn't really like me very much, so I have to accept that too. It's not something that a mother wants to hear from their son. It's not something that a mother can accept. I mean, but it's real. It is what it is, and I have to be in a space where I'll continue to process that and accept it and continue to try to rebuild, but he has to meet me halfway as well. But I just had to do a lot of self-reflection on me because, growing up, and this is going to be something I'm going to be talking about as well as as far as my growing up and being separated from the my family and the home I grew up in due to circumstances where I was raised by someone and grew up with a family that I become attached to, but also has some differences with as well, depending on what relative you talk to about me, because growing up wasn't easy, being bullied, taunted, trying to figure out things, not being not as polished. I've had an attitude that was unbearable at times. I'm not going to lie to you. I know I wasn't always the nicest person to deal with, and so I look back at that, and sometimes I wonder if that had a major impact on my evolution to date. I have evolved a lot. I'm still going to have flaws. I'm still going to rub people the wrong way. I'm still going to have a tone that's aggressive, because I'm sure right now doing this video, I'm sure there's going to be some people out there that's going to take it, going to perceive me as being aggressive, where I'm just being my true authentic self and just speaking to you in a regular tone. But someone is going to say I'm aggressive. I know it. Someone is going to view me as being aggressive. So there's going to be someone out there that's going to take my tone as being harsh. I get it. Okay. But again, I know that I wasn't always the nicest person. I've had struggles with interacting with some people, even if they had the best intentions. But I had to evolve, and as I gotten older, I had to, as I grew in my faith, and even when I became a parent, I think that kind of toned things down for me as well. And I have a lot of my dad in me, by the way. And if he was still alive today, he would tell you that. We're just very big personality, very direct, very straightforward. People say I have no filter, and I feel like if we're going to be real about things, I'm going to be real with you. But like I said, I mean no harm, but I know there's going to be some people that may take my realness as being rude. I'm going to yes, trust me, I know. Rude, aggressive, assertive. So there are going to be people in my life, and like I said, that's why I really hope to have some of these people that I've grew up with, who've known me all my life, who have known me throughout my adult life. I want them to share this space with me so we can have the dialogue, we can have the conversation, because I've always been in a lane by myself. I've always been antisocial. I've always been one to enjoy my solitude at times, because I keep to myself a lot because I'm very much misunderstood. There were times where even when I try to engage with people and I warm up to them, and I don't have a big social circle, believe me. The amount of friends, people I call friends, I don't use that term loosely at all. Okay, but the people I associate with, the circle is pretty small, and so the small circle of people that know me, they tend to understand me more, as they, because I've known them for a while. They've known me for a while, and they understand, my flow, my rhythm, and how I converse and how I deliver my message, right? It may not always come out the right way. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm going to have my moments where I'm going to lash out. There'll be moments I'm going to have moments like that, to where but people that know me well, when they engage with me, they understand where I come from at times. But there are times where I am a great communicator. There are times I'm not. There are times I might have selective memory or selective hearing, whenever it's convenient for me. I'm not going to lie to you. We all have those moments, where, we might have some dialogue, or I might communicate. I could be passive aggressive at times, because I try to spare people's feelings or handle someone with kid gloves, because I don't want them to think that I'm being mean to them. So that's why, that's going back to my loneliness, sometimes being at antisocial or being in a separate space. And so that's why I feel like there are times where I don't think I belong in a particular group or a particular space. Like I have so much of an extended family, whether blood related or church wise or community wise. I just always seem like I've been in one lane on my own. I've never felt like I belonged. I never felt included in a lot of different dynamics or in different things, whether in school or in church. But I know that I have a plethora of people that love me. I'm surrounded by people that love me and care, and generally care about me, and as I do them. But there are moments where I feel like I don't have as much engagement or interaction with people directly as I would want, because I've always been family oriented. I've always been one to just make sure that I maintain some type of united front among my family and friends, right? So I just hope, like I said, I hope this is my way of, like, having this platform as a way of doing that. Just being able to to maintain engagement, being able to, possibly entertain, just having some fun with it. Because I don't want this to be a dark space, Even when we have certain conversations, even when we have, different topics that are kind of heavy or sometimes are a bit, touchy or serious topics. There's a lane. There's a time and space for everything, right? There's a time and a space, and there's lines that need to be drawn. But for the most part, I don't want it to be such a dark space. I want it to be lighthearted. I want there to be a safe space, but it has to be respectful. As long as you're respectful, we can have dialogue and respectfully disagree. I love, the debate. People always say I love to argue, which I don't agree with, because there's a difference between arguing and conversation. There's a difference. If you say something, I'm going to say something back, and it goes vice versa. It goes back and forth. It doesn't mean it's an argument. It's a discussion. It's a debate. And we can have those respectfully without any name calling or without any insults. There might be some shade here and there. There ain't nothing wrong with those snide comments, because I'm going to give you those. That's going to happen. But for the most part, we just gonna do the damn thing, But we just want to make sure that I gotta make sure that I studied YouTube guidelines. There are certain words that can't be said, certain language that can't be used. So I got to make sure that I study more of those guidelines, and making sure that when I do get monetized, that it stays that way. Because that is one of the other reasons why I decided to do this. Let's just be real about it. I do need, some extra change. We all can use some extra change, right? So this is a way to supplement my income. Okay, so there you have it. All right. So I'm looking forward to engaging with the folks out here. And like I said, please like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, my channel has to start somewhere. It has to grow from somewhere. So I just said, let me go ahead and do this full-length video so I can kind of segue into the live stuff. But in order for me to do more of the live videos, I need an audience. I need people to engage with. And so eventually, as my channel grows within the next few months, you know, depending on the growth of my channel, there's these thing called moderators, where I'm able to have certain people moderate my channel. So when I do go live, you know, they can regulate who comes into my chats and may want to troll or may want to say certain things that are inappropriate. So they have the moderators where you assign a mod stick. It's like a wrench. When you go into the chat, it's like a wrench that you see next to the person's name, and they're a moderator. And so, you know, in the next few months, like I said, you know, that's going to happen. I don't think I'm going to need that many, probably just 2 or 3. So I'm looking forward to just doing this. You know, I got to be as consistent as possible. So like I said, just bear with me on this as I continue to grow, continue to flourish, and continue to get the guidance that I need from Soul Debonair and other content creators as well that's willing to offer me tips on this thing, because there's nothing like getting the true guidance and direction from actual content creators who have done it and have the real life experience. Is, you know, totally organic experience. That's what I prefer. So I'm looking forward to this experience. You know, this is something that that I'm hoping that will grow, hoping that you will enjoy. I know that I might seem boring to some. I might be the quiet taste to others, you know. So that's to be expected. But again, bear with me on this. Pray with me on this. Pray for me on this. I just want you guys to I need the support from you, and I know that even if it doesn't get as large as I expect, just the matter of just being able to engage and being able to have the dialogue, have the conversations, have the thought-provoking dialogue. I mean, just being able to be entertained by some people, and and let it go from there. So I really hope that this video would kind of give you a better understanding of who I am, and just give you a basic overview of what to expect from this channel. I don't want to keep you too long. I don't want to hold you guys up, but please like this video, share this video, just kind of get the word out. And then, like I said, I'm going to continue to give you content. Hopefully the next time I get on, I'll be able to go live. But again, in order for me to do that, I need the audience. That's why I said, let me upload this one so I can get an audience, so I can get people in the mix. All right, so please do that. I thank you so much again for your time. I thank you and I thank you in advance for your support. I thank you in advance for allowing me in your space. I thank you so much for your encouragement. I thank you so much for just kind of give me the space to do this. Like I say, you see how I am. Like, see the social awkwardness is kicking in. The anxiety is kicking in right now. So let me get on out of here, and I'll talk to you soon again. All right, and may God bless you. Bye bye.